Good morning, my people. Let's talk about everything. Did you know that energy and matter are equal? That means that it is basically the same thing. And in the theory of the Big Bang, in the beginning everything was very hot, compressed energy. And then it started suddenly to expand and cool down. And because it cooled down, it formed matter. But matter and energy can anytime be translated into each other or changed to each other. It's like water and ice. Water, when it cools down, becomes ice. So the water is like the energy and the ice is like the matter. It's the same thing, but it appears to be different. It can be perceived in a different way, but it's the same thing. Okay. Now, did you know that in many cultures, the mystery of how the world has been created has a similarity, and that is that there is some divine force, a godlike figure, whatever, and it knows itself. It is perfect harmony, it is all-knowing, almighty, but it is bored, so it's boring. And it wants to be perceived by its creation. So what does it do? A Big Bang. It creates everything so that everything perceives this godlike creator. Now, quantum physics tell us that there is a fundamental difference if a photon, any particle, is in the vacuum and not interacting with anything else. It is in a different state than when it interacts with anything. So a photon in the vacuum of space alone is in wave state. But as soon as you ask it, what are you, where are you, how are you, you destroy the wave state and you make it a particle. It will then tell you, I'm exactly here, I'm exactly in this condition. And this is, by the way, the Schrödinger's Katze or double slit experiment. Both are the same topic. And the same applies to experience of human beings. If you are alone at home and your friend thinks of you, your friend might think, okay, maybe you're sleeping, maybe you're sad, maybe you're happy, maybe you're outside, maybe you're inside, maybe, So in the imagination, all possible states of you are overlapping, and the only way to find it out is to destroy each and every other state by finding out what you truly are. Where are you? So your friend could call you and you say, well, I'm outside taking a walk, making a video. And then every other state is destroyed. You're not in this overlapping probability wave state anymore. You're in a particle state. Now, in our world, right here, everything interacts with everything at any time. This is why we are in a very stable world. Here, no quantum physical laws apply to this world. Yet, without quantum physics, we wouldn't have microwave and lasers and a lot of other technologies. So they are present, but they do not determine our laws right here. But our experience of our personal experience have similarities, as I told you. Now, why am I telling you all this? See, let's get back to the Big Bang. We could imagine that in the beginning of this Big Bang, everything was very in order, in a certain order, in a harmony. It knew itself perfectly, okay? Like, we also have the law of entropy, of increasing entropy in our universe. So entropy always increases, it cannot go backward, with small exceptions, okay? So human beings, life itself, and crystals can create order. To create order means we invest energy to reverse entropy. If you tidy up a room that children have played in, it will be a very entropic state, and you bring back the order by investing energy. So now, when the Big Bang, in the beginning, everything was very ordered, like a godlike figure that knew itself perfectly. Everything, it's boring, very self-aware, everything is clear, but then the bang happens, which means everything is forgotten. In this moment, it forgets itself, but it creates everything. And everything that is possible to happen starts to happen. And while this happens, the entropy increases to that imaginary spot of infinite entropy, which means everything that could have happened, everything interacted. And now we could now we could argue that this divine consciousness that was existing in the beginning of these mystical stories and in the Big Bang, in the beginning of the Big Bang, that this consciousness is now spread all over the world, in everything, in every molecule, because energy and matter are equal, right? So it's this consciousness that interacts with each other is everywhere and experiencing itself, all right? The forest right today experiences the light and the air and the wind and the water. Everything interacts all the time, while at the same time out there in space there will be a lot of quantum events happening too. According to quantum physics, doesn't matter. All this is part of this consciousness, all right? Now, why am I telling you this? Well, when we talk about the human consciousness, it adds another layer to it. And this light of consciousness, often we talk of the light of consciousness, is not switched on in everybody, actually. But what is consciousness, the human consciousness? It adds another layer, a stage for all of this around us. So if we see this, Bruce Lee said, heavenly glory, okay? If we perceive the heavenly glory, the trees, the animals, the life, with all our senses, our perception, it is mirrored within ourselves. It happens outside, but it is all formed by our consciousness. And we speak it. We can write a poem about it. It would all be here, even if there wouldn't be no human being at all. But everything we speak of, everything we argue about, everything on TikTok, everything on YouTube, everything in the human world is there because it's mirrored in our consciousness, right? So it adds another layer to it. But true consciousness, the human consciousness working, means that we understand that we are a part of this world, and in this world there is other beings that do the same thing. Okay, so there's people also who have an impaired consciousness, which means they are self-absorbed. They think that all this heavenly glory is all happening within themselves. And these people also feel like God, which means they are grandiose, and this spoils the whole soup, of course. Was this too much? Think about that.